eyes is actually pretty easy. Trust me on this one. Now there's a ton of ways to draw eyes, and for the sake of your simple brain, I'm here to explain everything to you. Just to preface, these are all the brushes and things you really need for this tutorial, so yeah. First thing you need is to, well, obviously, draw the shape of the eye. And well, this is probably the easiest part. If you fail this, then I don't know what to tell you. Trust me, this takes the least amount of brain power out of your noggin. I know we don't have much going on in there, okay? I've got you covered. Because look here, all you need to do, okay, is draw two lines. Two lines. Bear with me, okay? First, draw one horizontal line like this. Make sure it's long, thick, luscious like this, alright? You listen in, and then draw another horizontal line below. Make sure it's parallel, maybe shorter, maybe longer, up to you. All you need to do is draw two lines. And now, you've actually done half the work already, because what we actually drew was the upper and lower lid. And they're probably the most defining features of the eye, because we can tweak them to show different emotions, personalities, and all that schmo. What if we tweak the upper eyelid, make it curve upwards? Now you get a friendly little fella. What if we sharpen the angle a little bit, give them that positive candle tilt? Now that's fierce. How about scrunching up that lower lid? You can play around with these two features and even play around with the shape of the iris, pupil, or maybe eyelashes, and literally make a whole combination of eyes. You can thank me later. What I just taught you was basically the tip of the iceberg, and there's actually a lot more that meets the eye. Kill me. Remember, the eye isn't just a flat object. It's three-dimensional. It wraps around our face, follows perspective, lighting, and all that stupid complicated stuff. Think of it as a little orb. Very cute orb. And these lids are actually wrapping around this silly little orb. I like to use these curved lines to jot out the three-dimensional space so I know where to put the eyes. Remember that eyes are typically, well, one eye apart, and the ears usually align with the brow and nose, so you can usually estimate that the eye is about here, 3/4 above the ear. And if you want to draw your eyes at different angles, these curved lines help. If you want to make them look down, you can shift the ears upwards. If you want it to look up, shift the ears down. And this is just basic perspective, but when you tilt your head at a 3/4 angle, the other side gets further apart, and well, it looks a bit shorter than the other one. A common mistake artists tend to do is make the eyelashes look flat like this, when actually they curve outwards like a three-dimensional object. And why does this happen, you ask? I do not know. Don't ask me, I'm no scientist. But you know what I know? Your fried attention spans. If you managed to watch till this part, you deserve a star, cause you're a real one, honestly. So comment star, so I know you watched till this part. Now, the best way to learn to draw anything is to reference from real life. Yes, I know I hate looking at people as much as you do, but luckily we have the confines of Pinterest and Google for that. Everything stylized is derived from a real thing. From learning how light works to the fundamental parts of the nitty-gritty eye. Now the eye can be broken down into a few more parts. Upper, lower lid, just the ones we discussed. Of course, the iris and pupil. The sclera, the white looking thing over here. Notice how it's not completely white. We'll get to that later. This cute little waterline that distinguishes the thickness of the lid. And of course, the eyelids. You don't need to include all these parts. It just comes down to your stylization and preference. And sometimes people simplify it down. But if you're going for a semi-realistic look, then including these features would probably be your best bet. For anime eyes, there's a lot more variation to it. Like a lot. And that also means different shading techniques. And of course, this wouldn't be a proper eye tutorial if I'm not teaching you how to draw these eyes and color them in the first place. So let's get to that. This is just my way of drawing eyes, and this is just one of the many stylizations out there. So take what you like about this video and apply it. The rest leaves up to you to experiment on. Now the key to every eye is parallelograms. Yes, parallelograms. Our eyes are naturally shaped like parallelograms, so let's draw some. Here you can see me drawing some of different shapes and sizes. This one looks a little bit chunkier than the one on the left. We're gonna just use this as a basic guideline for the eyes. And you can use any basic brush for this. I don't think brushes matter for this tutorial. After drawing on our parallelograms, we're gonna make a new layer on top of that and do a black outline. So we're just gonna follow the general shape and curve into these corners over here. And make sure your lines are clean. Try not to do chicken scratches, guys. It doesn't look great. Line weight is also very important. I tend to make these edges of the eye a bit thicker just to add some volume to it. Then we just go over and fill the outline with the lasso tool. Then we're gonna make a half circle. Make sure it's not too small or else your character is gonna look like a sicko. Like, you don't want that, okay guys? And then we're just gonna fill that in with the lasso tool again. We're gonna repeat the process with these other two eyes. Again, we're gonna curve against these ridges. We're gonna make the edges thicker. Line weight is very important. Line weight is very important. We're gonna draw in the iris again. Make sure it's like a rounded shape. We're gonna make this an oval this time just because, yes. Went ahead and filled everything in. We made everything just cleaner. So I went ahead and finished up the last eye. So now we can turn off the sketch layer. I'm gonna show you how to draw eyelashes. I like to draw this point in the middle of the eye and then draw these curved spirals. After that, I like to draw on these eyelashes according to the direction. That's pretty much it. After drawing our eyelashes, I like to add these creases along the eye like this. And you know what? Let's add a little tear duct for this eye over here and like maybe a waterline just to make it, you know, we're just switching things up just a tad bit. Now we're gonna go over it with our base color. We're using this nice vibrant blue for this eye and we're gonna leave a nice black outer ring like that. We're just gonna repeat this process with the other eyes. This one's gonna be a nice orange. After adding our base colors, we're just gonna add on the pupil. It's just a small little circle like that. We're just gonna repeat this for the rest of the other drawings. And then we're just gonna fill it in with the lasso tool. And then we're gonna create these little black bumps on the side of the eye, like this. Repeat that for everything. Now this is where it starts to get a little fun. Now we're gonna swatch the black color. We're gonna shift it to a blue hue, and then we're gonna swatch this really dark color of like a blue, and then put it on the pupil. And then I like to add these triangles on the eyelashes just to add some pizzazz to it. It looks like it's sparkling like jewels, kind of like that. And then we're gonna put like this little nice purple just to top it off like that. Now for the iris, I like to swatch the base color and then shift the hue towards a purple. That way it looks a bit more colorful. And then I like to add it to the top of the eye, representing like the shadow around the eyes. And it's pretty cool, and I like to add these little dots that surround the eye. It adds this really cool detail. I'm doing the same thing with the orange eye, adding these really cool dots, but you know what? Let's shake it up a bit. Instead of like dots, let's add like a spiral, like going towards like the eye, the pupil, which looks pretty cool. Like, look at that. That's really cool. After all of that, we're gonna pick a new color. We're just gonna swatch this purple color and we're gonna shift its hue towards like a pinkish thing. And then we're just gonna add that to the iris. We're also gonna add this color to the sides and just play around, have fun. This part is just really fun. You just gotta play around with colors. And we're gonna add a little highlight of purple over here at the bottom. That's what I usually do. And then again, these little dots just to like complete everything together. We're gonna then add this darker color, which is like a dark blue over the shadow here. Look at it, really awesome, really. We'll add more blue towards these dark ridges and make it a little bit curvy like that. Pretty much what I'm doing is just doing whatever looks good. And to top it off, I like to add these really nice highlights around the eyelashes just to brighten it up. And this is just my favorite part of drawing the eye, is just adding highlights everywhere. Like, look at that. Now let's try doing the same thing with this one. I like to pick a lighter color over here and just add it all over on the sides and everything, you know, the typical. And then, you know what? Let's just go for like a nice yellow because I think it would look awesome with the green, honestly. So like, let's just add a nice yellow, like this really weird sun thing logo, I don't know. And then we'll add this little bluish green color just to top it off. And it just looks really cool. And then dark highlights, dark outlines again. We're gonna just replace that yellow thing with this brighter one because I don't know, I'm not liking how it looks at the moment. And then add these little specks and dots because I don't know, they just look cool, guys. Everything I do is just for, I don't know, visual appeal, okay? Do you think I know what I'm doing? No, I don't. And again, we're gonna add these really bright and pretty colors on the eyelashes, just because it sticks out and makes everything look cooler. After all of that, we're gonna brush the canvas with this nice skin tone over here. I don't recommend using pure whites for the sclera. Not only is this inaccurate to the real eye, it also makes your character look unhinged as heck. So yeah, we're gonna use this off-white color, okay? And after some further detailing, we're finally done with the eyes. And so now you know how to draw the eye. And now it's time for me to sleep. It's currently 3 a.m. when I'm recording this. Oh, the things I do for you guys. Anyways, bye.